For this episode, I thought I could do something like a small overview at the beginning, and yes, this is the overview, so you can basically see all the light blue stuff is already finished that we made in this episode. The light green stuff is what we built, but what isn't finished, so what will be detailed or some things like this. And the red part is where I want to go ahead and build more in the next episodes. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to episode 36 of my City Skylines series, Springfield. So you already had seen something in this episode, and this was just like me talking about a plan what we're doing today. I'm considering to do this now every episode. I'm kinda liking this stuff, and yes, I think it's a good thing for our video. So it's a good addition to our intro, just like our small cinematics that were pretty cool this time, I guess. And yes, so at first here you can see me building an highway intersection. This isn't a really big one, this is just a very detailed one. So it will basically just be a small intersection with maybe an light rail, I think they're called in America. And I'm considering to build one, so this would be kind of cool, I guess. And yes, but for this one I would have to think about a route, and I kind of want to have one in the like downtown area, but I think this will be not an elevated one. This also want to be on street level. This will be down in the ground, so you can see it, but it's sunken, I guess. It sounds like a good idea to me. So here we are just like having our casual entrance for our city as always, and I kind of like them like this because we also then they're building timed traffic lights, and yes, they are very good. And I think it's a great thing for this game because you can basically say how should I say this? You can basically say you have quite a lot of traffic lights that you can control with one like timed traffic light. So you can make all of them go green at the same time, or 2 can go green and like 5 can go red or something like this. And this is very cool. So this is what I made also there, and yes, this is just basically when you're coming from the highway entrance, when you can just like drive there, you're already allowed just to... Oh, I'm sorry, my dog is just coming up. So basically you are allowed to go all the way through these traffic lights. And yes, I'm sorry, my dog is just like walking next to me, but this shouldn't be a problem. And yes, and basically also what this is here, I've just like tried to smooth it out so that it's looking good. And this wasn't that easy, I guess, because I had quite a struggle with some of these. Like here again, I don't actually am that good with them, so I think I will degrade this to 2 later on. Yes, there it is, so we can make it look better. And actually, I think the downtown will be connected with the suburbs that we built today pretty quickly. So we will fill it in with some more high-rise building, but not so high. Maybe some office buildings, some gas stations and stuff like this. So actually here you could like see me figuring out how I want to have this, because it isn't that easy for me with the terrain because I'm not that good with it, but yes. So like I thought this like series will go something for episode 50, I guess, and after this I want to do a new series, and this will start with a map making. I'm not sure what I want to do with this map making. I think I will do something more like in the mountains, but I'm not sure right now. So if you're having any ideas or any wishes what I should build for a city, hit me up in the comments and I will answer them as quickly as possible. And yes. So basically all our highways are having quite a lot of interchanges, so I didn't want to connect this up there and like with this other highway, and I think this turned out quite well. But although I'm considering to connect this street to the highway, But for this one I would have to come up with a good idea, and right now I don't have that idea in my mind that I want to also accomplish. So why I also built this intersection is because we'll have a lot of traffic there. At least when I'm done with the stuff that I wanted to do there, and yes. So also in this episode I had quite a struggle with my cinematics because all the window textures were gone and I had to search them. But later on I finally found them and it turned out pretty well in the end. So yes. So here you can just see me connecting all this stuff up with the traffic manager, and this makes it quite better. And yes, so here you can already see me making the timed traffic lights, and it is just like, I think the minimum is 10 seconds and the maximum is 20 seconds or something like this. I made this for the reason that maybe there will be quite a lot of traffic later on, and for this one I've made 20 seconds. Or was it 20 seconds? I think. And yes, it was quite strange there because the green light, so the traffic lights were in themselves and they were a bit glitched, but it turned out quite well. So for detailing this area I thought about maybe some palms and some rocks in the middle, and this should be it for this area. So this is just like a very decent detailed area, but I guess this is okay. So here I was just looking again if it works like I want it to work, and yes, it actually did. Actually, also I know why this game just like crashed there at this moment, because I had a problem with a mod called Prop It Up, I think. Yes, Prop It Up. And I'm sorry, this was just my German speaking guy in myself. And actually I think the problem was that I didn't had installed one plant or something like this, and then it all crashed. So here I'm just figuring out how I want to have this area, and I think I will leave this there's some spots for a green space, because I think it's the most important stuff in a city for a green space. This is actually giving the people the possibility to just like go somewhere and relax. And this should have every city, I guess, but it doesn't have every city, so at least in my fictional city I want it. So here I was just counting streets, how I want to place the streets for this like richer neighborhood. Like it's very rich actually, because everyone has such a big garden. But this won't be everywhere, this will be just like close to the golf country club. Golf/country club, I have to say. And I was just like searching assets for this, because I wasn't sure what I want to take for assets for this, because I didn't want two big houses. They would use for the small suburbs, this one here. And I've just like wanted some mansions, but not these strange looking mansions, good looking mansions. And I'm actually thinking this one is okay, also with the other one, but I have to download more good mansions. So with the terrain, I just easily thought I would do an entrance to this area with a small pathway going up there, and I've just detailed it with rocks, and this makes a good example for an I think American/European house, because I've also seen this in Austria quite recently in my last holiday. So yes, from now on here, from now on to minute 20 or something like this, we're just building here some stuff. And yes, I think we will see this after this one, if we are building the government housing. About that I want to talk about this later on. So until then, please enjoy this video, and yes. Okay, so we're back with the building time lapse, and we're going on with the building time lapse of the government housing. As you can see, they will be close to the main road, and this means they will be very loud, and they don't want to leave people that can decide where they live. So that's also the reason why I'm considering to build a harbor on the other side of this road, so there will be some more neighborhoods, and then I think there will be something like this. But at first you can see me trying to figure out why it has this strange greenish color. I don't like this in any way, but I don't think we can fix it that easy, so I just use this road instead. So already there you can see me, I've started with laying out the first roads again and getting an idea of what its area should look like. This government housing was a lot of copying and pasting, so this was just basically I built one square, detailed it, and I just copied it again. So this was just, I wanted to have this 2-level buildings, and they're looking very good, I think. And they're also very atmospheric with this typical roof for LA, I think. And yes, so here at first I've tried with these buildings, as you can see, and didn't turn out well in any way. So I just tried to find some more that I will later on want to use, but I will go right on with them after I've seen them. Right there, these are the guys. So at first I thought something of this, and then I've just looked there and looked how I can make it, and just made this smaller corner, and then made also another corner right next to it. So yes, this is basically it, with a lot of parking space. So basically if we want to have more people there, we can modify the stats of this building, because it's unrealistic that there are just 2 households in one of these buildings. So this will be changed, but I think the rest is quite realistic. And yes, I will now leave you alone for the last 7 minutes. So I would ask you something. If you have watched this video at this point and you enjoyed watching it, I would appreciate it if you would like this video, and if you want to see more of this series or want to stay up to date, would appreciate it if you'd consider subscribing to me. It helps me a lot and encourages me to make more videos, and I'm trying to get the quality better and better every day. So yes, this would be quite cool from you, and yes, thank you for watching. Hopefully see you in the next or another video of mine. And yes, bye!
Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. See the horizon, turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fuel